Morning, everyone. Chief Speedy here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Wearing the shirt says, "Do not give in to the war within, end veteran suicide, and don't let the hard days win." Now, some people are like, "Oh, that's so extra," and that's okay. Like I said, leadership comes in different shapes and sizes, and not one size fits all. You know, you may be able to impact some people, and some people it just may not be their flavor, right? And that's okay, because there's a bunch of different other leaders out there. But when you're leading a team, you have to be understanding that different approaches are required for different styles of personalities and leadership. And that's why we have different tools that are provided to us to find out what our leadership styles are, you know, how we handle conflict, how our mindsets are, how we're different. And we want that so we put the right people in the right places for success of the team, but also so we know how to work together just as humans in general. And it's good to even learn that, like in just relationships, right? And you kind of learn that throughout your lives. So I have an animal here that would like to say hi. This is Rocco, and he is my emotional support dog. Yeah, he is. Look at that. So he's a good guy. Hi, buddy. So he's I guess he wants some camera time right now. But anyways, just checking in. I just want you guys to know that you matter, okay? Maybe you're having a great day, and that's awesome. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're going through something, and that's okay, right? This too shall pass, right? Just reach out. Reach out, you know, if you're struggling. So anytime you start a job, right? We'll talk about being in the Air Force. Military. You come in, you don't know the culture. They teach you the culture in boot camp. People say they break you down, they build you up. They teach you things and the way things are done in this world. And you have to comply, you have to learn. And if you don't, everybody, it's one team, one fight. Everybody learns, everyone, you know, gets some form of punishment or correction until the problem is fixed. That's to build a cohesive team that has to work through conflict resolution immediately under pressure, right? That's what they're building. And learning to adjust and adapt, hurry up and wait, be patient on the fly, and fix problems without a lot of notice. And then they also teach how to group think, how to work together when you do have time, how to properly think through things, right? So that's your starting point. They also push, which is, you know, our greatest thing as young workers, young airmen, young troops, how to communicate effectively, to know what the rules are, what the expectations of what you're supposed to do, and who to call if you make a mistake, you run into an issue, you're running late, you know, you're struggling, all those things. You always call your supervisor, the person that is in charge of you, the person that is supervising you, the person that's your boss, right? If you don't know who that is, you need to ask. You need to know who your first sergeant is, that person you can go to when you feel lost and you're dealing with personal issues, right, that are affecting the work environment. And your first few years, your job is to learn everything you can about the culture of the environment you're working in. Learn what the expectations are and learn what your progression is needed to be successful as an employee, right? Or as an airman coming from the Air Force. So your job is to learn, to listen, and to start building your trade, your skill sets. And you need to be respectful and come in respectfully and with an open mind. If you have a question, ask it. You may not agree with everything, but you have to respectfully listen, okay? And execute. So that's all you have to do as an airman. You do exactly what you're told to do. If you don't know what to do, you ask a question. And you communicate. It's actually very simple and easy, right? It also requires you to read and learn. So a lot of Air Force instructions out there. I highly recommend reading Air Force 1-1 or AF manual or whatever everyone's called it, 1-1, right? Standards and conduct. That is the bread and butter. That is your foundation upon which you build. And if you're in just like a regular business outside the military, find out what the standards, conduct, the vision of what your boss is, their vision, their mission, the priorities. Those are the things you need to know. You need to know who you work for, who your supervisors are, who supervises them, and what the mission is, right? And learn your job. So that's the basics and the foundation. And you also need to read your AFI 362903, your dress and appearance, right? And you need to ensure the standards are maintained. If you see a buddy that's out of those standards, hey man, just so you know, you're out of standards. I'm looking out for you as a wingman before the first sergeant sees you or before leadership sees it, right? Leadership and the first sergeant should never catch that stuff. You guys should be looking out for each other as wingman at the lowest level, and that's what we want. We want you guys to work together and help point out an issue before it becomes a bigger issue or caught by someone higher up, right? We shouldn't have to be catching those things. We should be policing each other, holding that standard, right? And taking care of things. By the way, this is Raven. This is my other sweetie. And she came over to say hi. So those are the things you need to do. That's 101, right? That's step one. You have to master that. Don't do that and be like, all right, what else do I need to do? You need to master that, apply it, because that is your foundation. Your foundation is everything. The other things you build on will have zero value, zero pull, zero impact if your foundation of your standards, your conduct, and the culture, and the dress and appearance, which goes into depth of our honor, is not solid on the ground you stand. Everything else you build is going to crumble. Now, I'm not saying let's be hall monitors and let's not focus on things that don't matter, but there's honor with dress and appearance. And I'll put it to you this way. I don't know if you know people or had family members or friends in the military that we've lost. Or you just watched the news and you saw at Dover Air Force Base a soldier coming home in a casket with an American flag draped over them. You see those troops going there, grabbing it, doing the honorable, dignified transfer. We wear that uniform in the manner that it's to be worn in, honestly, to honor those that came before us, those that died in all the wars that came before us, those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. Come here, Rocco. The uniform that you wear, someone else wore that uniform and didn't make it. There's been bloodshed on those uniforms. And you're representing the people that no longer can wear the uniform, the people that have given the ultimate sacrifice, and you represent them. So we do that with the utmost honor and respect by looking lethal, sharp, and staying within regulations. That's really the why behind it. And you do that for the domino effect, because one day you're going to retire, leave the military, or someone you know is going to have an ultimate sacrifice, or someone's going to pass away. And when you retire down the road and you see that young troop in the military wearing that uniform with pride, they're representing you. They're representing your people that you lost. It's a generational honor. And it also sends a message to the world that we are united, we are lethal, and we are ready. Right? Nobody likes someone that looks messy. Nothing looks nice, professional, wrinkled, right? But when you see someone who's in uniform, is tailored, it's sharp, it's like, ooh, wow, kind of, people get taken aback and they kind of get put on their toes. So there's a psychological effect to that as well. but you also need to take pride in yourselves and the legacy you're building and the work you're doing. And you're also wearing your name tag on your uniform. You're carrying your family's name. Make them proud. Make yourself proud. Believe in yourself. And believe in the people that came before you that made that ultimate sacrifice. So that's my little nugget today. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Right, Rocco? Yeah. All right, everyone. Stay strong. Stay safe. Spread love, not hate. We'll see you soon.